What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Thursday, February 4th, 2016, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Star Wars The Force Awakens won big at the 14th Annual Visual Effects Society Awards, winning trophies in all major categories. The film took home 4 trophies, including the top category of Outstanding VFX and a Photoreal Feature. The Force Awakens was also honored for outstanding models, created environments, and virtual cinematography. The Revenant was another top award winner, earning VES honors in supporting visual effects and a photoreal feature, and 2 awards for the bear attack scene in the film, including compositing in a photoreal feature and animated performance in a photoreal feature. Pixar's The Good Dinosaur was also recognized in 3 major animated categories, while Mad Max Fury Road won for effects simulations in a photoreal feature for the Auctioneer's Desert Storm sequence. Star Wars The Force Awakens is nominated for Best Visual Effects at the upcoming Academy Awards on February 28th, along with Mad Max Fury Road, The Revenant, The Martian, and Ex Machina. A complete list of winners across all 23 categories, including features, television, animation, and video games, can be found on the official VES website. Actress Rooney Mara is in talks to play Mary Magdalene in an upcoming biopic, according to reports. The actress is being pursued for the role, as reported by Deadline, in a film that is being backed by Universal Pictures and set to be produced by the King's Speech producer Seesaw Films. Mara can currently be seen in her Oscar-nominated role in Carol, in an upcoming drama opposite Nicole Kidman in Lion, directed by Garth Davis, who has also been tapped to helm Mary Magdalene. Davis said Rooney's raw, brave approach to performances, cope with her deeply magnetic inner life, holds all the dimensions needed to bring to life one of history's most misunderstood women, Mary Magdalene. Having worked with Rooney online, I know she is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. First announced in January, Mary Magdalene was described as an authentic and humanistic portrait of one of the most enigmatic and misunderstood spiritual figures in history. With no release date set, Universal hopes to begin shooting the film next summer for an anticipated release in 2017. Chris Pratt is gearing up for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The 36-year-old actor started work on the highly anticipated sequel with director James Gunn and co-stars Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, and Sean Gunn this week. James Gunn shared a photo of the group on Monday on Instagram, writing, using Bautista as an example of good acting during rehearsals for hashtag Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Saldana added, we are back, hashtag GOTG, hashtag Guardians of the Galaxy, to her own post. Saldana, who plays Greenskin Gamora in the films, also joked it's officially face and body art day for the next 5 months. The actress previously revealed her full body makeup takes an hour and 15 minutes to remove each day. Guardians of the Galaxy opened in 2014 and earned $774 million at the box office. Pratt will reprise Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, in the sequel, with Bautista as Drax and Sean Gunn as Kraglin. Vin Diesel and Bradley Cooper will also return as Groot and Rocket. Pratt told Digital Spy in June, I will say that James Gunn's pitch and his idea legitimately put tears in my eyes. It is so good, I cannot wait to get it started on it, and I cannot wait for people to see what he's going to pull off with the second movie. He also added, it's so big and so good. From what I understand, they heard it at Marvel and they said nothing. They're like, perfect. There was no micromanaging of the idea. They just loved it so much and didn't even have a note for it. It's going to be remarkable. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 opens in theaters May 5th, 2017. Kurt Russell is expected to join the series as Star-Lord's dad, with Palm Clemenef in an unspecific role. Vin Diesel and Universal Pictures have confirmed the release dates for Fast and Furious 9 and 10, plotting out the road ahead for the next trilogy in the series. Diesel revealed the dates on social media Tuesday, which has the as-yet untitled Fast 9 and Fast 10 now expected to drop in 2019 and 2021 respectively. In January, the action star shared the release date of Fast 8 alongside the film's first poster depicting a New York City skyline. Fast 8 is scheduled to hit the road on April 14, 2017. Diesel posted on Instagram showcasing Fast 9's official release date 2 decades, 10 films, 1 saga. The dates for April 19th, 2019, and Fast 10 as of April 2nd, 2021. The news comes after Diesel confirmed back in September that he planned on producing one final Fast and Furious trilogy to close out the popular action-packed franchise. He said at the time, "Universal has been so good to me and so trusting of the vision. They have been like family. I promised the studio I would deliver one last trilogy to end the saga." Plot details are scarce for Fast 8, with Variety reporting that Universal was recently exploring the idea of shooting the film in Cuba. The actioner is set to be directed by Straight Compton Helmer F. Gary Gray. The last entry in the series, Fury 7, which was dedicated to the franchise late star Paul Walker, was a box office smash, taking in over $1.5 billion worldwide. Comedians Seth Rogen, Zach Galifianakis, and Bill Hader have been cast as astronauts lost in space in a new sci-fi comedy, The Something. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Rodney Rothman, who penned the script for 21 Jump Street and Grudge Match, will be making his directorial debut with the film while penning the script. The Something will feature Rogen, Galifianakis, and Hader as an all-male astronaut crew stranded in outer space until they suddenly encounter another ship after years of isolation. Rogen and frequent collaborator Evan Goldberg's studio Point Grey Pictures will be producing the film alongside Good Universe, which has worked with Rogen before on 50-50, This Is the End, and Neighbors. This will be the first time Galifianakis teams up with Rogen and Hader, who have appeared together on films such as Pineapple Express, Superbad, and Knocked Up. Currently, The Something doesn't have a release window. And in a related story, in Bud Light's upcoming ad for Super Bowl 50, Seth Rogen and Amy Schumer believe that the one thing that brings America together is beer. As the current presidential election heats up, Rogen and Schumer are seen in the comedic spot released on YouTube Wednesday, campaigning for the Fox Bud Light party, which would rather discuss what everyone has in common, like a shared belief in liking beer and Paul Rudd. Schumer begins on the campaign trail by saying, "My fellow Americans, they say we're a nation divided. They say we disagree on everything." Rogen, who chimes in to say that's not true, "We agree on a lot, like Paul Rudd. Everybody loves Paul Rudd." The star-studded ad features a cameo from Rudd and his Ant-Man co-star Michael Pena, who is seen listening intently to Rogen and Schumer's message. Schumer jokes, "Just wait until you see our caucus. We got the biggest caucus in the country," continues Rogen before he copies Bill Pullman's iconic speech from Independence Day. The Flash star Grant Gustin is to appear on the March 28th episode of Supergirl, which features Melissa Benoist as the titular heroine, CBS announced. Details regarding the crossover event will be announced at a later date, the network said in the press release. Greg Berlanti and Andrew Kresberg, the executive producers of both shows, said in a joint statement, "We are so incredibly excited to announce something that we have dreamed of happening since we started making Supergirl. The Flash and Supergirl are teaming up." They also added, "We want to thank Grant Gustin for making the time to come visit on top of his already immense workload, and all of the folks at CBS, the CW, Warner Brothers, and DC for working this out. And finally, thanks to the fans and journalists who have kept asking for this to happen. It is our pleasure and hope to create an episode worthy of everyone's enthusiasm and support." Me Before You released the first trailer starring Emilia Clarke on Wednesday. The 29-year-old English actress plays Louisa, a caregiver who finds romance with her disabled client William, played by Sam Claflin. William, who was rendered quadriplegic in an accident, teaches Louisa to live her life to the fullest while planning to end his own life. Me Before You is based on the Jojo Moyes novel of the same name and co-stars Jenna Coleman as Louisa's sister Katrina and Charles Dance as William's father Stephen. The movie is directed by Thea Shadrock and opens in theaters June 3rd. Claflin told Red Carpet News last year, "In a sense, it's been something very, very different and challenging. It's a new world for me. My eyes are opening hugely as I kind of continue down that road, but I'm very, very excited." He also added, "A script that makes me cry is a good script. The story, the sort of broken nature of this human being is something that really appeals to me, purely because it's a guy that has everything and then through one accident loses everything. That to me is an interesting prospect and hugely heartbreaking." He also added, "It's how this female care inspires him to change that really, really struck a chord with me. It's an incredible journey for both characters, and for the surrounding characters, it's a beautiful story." Clarke is best known for playing Daenerys Targaryen, aka Khaleesi, on Game of Thrones, and is slated for Voice from the Stone with Mark Dacascos. Claflin plays Finnick Odair in the Hunger Games movies and will star in The Huntsman Winter's War with Chris Hemsworth. And a really story regarding Chris Hemsworth. A new collection of photos featuring the actor, Kristen Wiig, and the rest of the Ghostbusters crew show each star completely immersed in their characters. Also featuring Melissa McCarthy, Leslie Jones, and Kate McKinnon, the photos from the Paul Feig-Helm remake include ominous black and white movie posters and apparent screenshots from the upcoming movie. Sony released the photos of the official movie website Wednesday. One photo shows Thor actor Hemsworth dressed in a vest, short-sleeved shirt, and strip tied in front of his character's receptionist desk. Wiig, McKinnon, Jones, and McCarthy are seen in both the posters and in screenshots of them in their ghost hunting characters' everyday attire. The photo comes as soon as Feig announced the first full trailer for the film will be out around the end of this month. George Clooney and Hugh Laurie return to the world of medical dramas in a new comedy sketch from Jimmy Kimmel Live. Clooney appeared on the Late Night Show Tuesday to promote his latest film, Hail Caesar, which prompted Kimmel to tease an ER reunion of your dreams. As the alleged reunion commenced, Clooney was seen appearing as Dr. Douglas Ross, once again alongside a bedridden Kimmel playing a patient waiting for surgery. Unfortunately, as Kimmel explains, former ER cast member Julianne Margulies was too busy filming The Good Wife. Noah Wyle was having Taco Tuesday with his family, and Eric LaSalle was on jury duty, leaving Clooney all alone. Entering the next best thing, Hugh Laurie, who walked on set as Dr. Gregory House, complete with his iconic cane. The pair of television doctors then cluelessly attempted to help the late-night host, who was having issues with his little Jimmy. After Kimmel revealed what was under his bedsheet, both Clooney and Laurie hilariously turned away in disgust, unable to decide on what to do. Laurie quips, "I don't do microsurgery." As Kimmel passes out due to organ failure, Clooney attempts to perform CPR unsuccessfully until Laurie comes up with a better idea. Laurie says as Clooney begins reciting the lyrics from the Superhero Gang's 1979 classic, pumping Kimmel's heart, "Dr. Ross, this isn't working. You got to give him the rapper's delight." In a related story, George Clooney and wife Amal Clooney kept their romance alive by communicating often when they were apart. The 54-year-old actor opened up about his relationship with the 38-year-old human rights lawyer at the Los Angeles premiere of his new movie, Hail Caesar. Clooney and his wife married in September 2014 and are able to keep close despite their busy schedules. The actor explained to Extra, "FaceTime, we'll do that. Mostly it's just try not to go very long. We spend an awful lot of time together. We don't have huge gaps between my work and her work, and the things we're doing, we're able to manage it pretty well." Clooney played kidnapped movie star Baird Whitlock in Hail Caesar, which opens in theaters Friday. Filming and Amal's international clients often take the couple apart, and the actor expressed appreciation for his wife's understanding to People magazine. He said, "I think she appreciates my work because one thing I think people never quite understand is that when you're doing it, it is actually a lot of work and takes a long time to do. And because she's seen me working behind the camera a lot, she sees that it's an ongoing process." Clooney previously gushed about his wife to Entertainment Tonight, calling her an amazing human being and one of the smartest people he's met. The actor told E! News he has something special planned for Valentine's Day, but declined to say more about the surprise. Screen legend Sophia Loren stars in a gorgeous new Dolce & Gabbana ad campaign. The Italian fashion house released a 3-minute short film starring the 81-year-old actress Monday. The video sees Loren playing mom to 5 strapping sons who help her restore their family villa to its former glory. The company wrote on Instagram, "Emotional and rich is symbolism. The short film brings to life the story of the new Dolce & Gabbana beauty creation. Hashtag DC Dolce Rosa, hashtag Only Sophia, hashtag DG Beauty." Cinema Paradiso director Giuseppe Tonerati directed the film, which promotes the brand's new fragrance, Rosa Alexica. Famed Italian composer and longtime Tonerati collaborator Ennio Morricone wrote the score. Loren previously collaborated with Dolce & Gabbana on her Sophia Loren No. 1 lipstick, which debuted in September. The lipstick is subtly scent with the fashion house signature rose fragrance. Dolce & Gabbana founders Demetrio Dolce and Stefano Gabbana said at the time, "Thank you for her beauty. Thank you for being a world favorite. Thank you for being an icon of the big screen and of Italian beauty. She's been a constant source of inspiration for us." Loren came to fame in Italy in the 1950s and is known for such films as It Started in Naples, Two Women, and Marriage Italian Style. The actress discussed the challenges of aging in the movie industry with the Wall Street Journal in August. She said of the roles, "I have to really look because when you reach a certain age, you cannot just do anything. You always like to find a character that suits you as a person and your age. People have to be able to believe in what you are doing." Loren last appeared in son Eduardo Ponte's short film Human Voice in 2014 and released her first memoir, Yesterday, Today, Tomorrow, My Life, the same year. Big Ange is not giving up despite her ongoing cancer battle. The 55-year-old Mob Wives star, born Angela Raiola, assured fans that she's keeping positive in a tweet this week as she continues to fight stage 4 brain and lung cancer. Co-star Karen Gravano recently told Wet Pain, "Ange could teach us all something on the show. We all claim to be fighters and are at war with each other, but Ange is in a war for her life. She gets up every day, she stays strong, she's a caretaker for her family and people that love her." Big Ange was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2015 and started chemotherapy again in January. Her sister Janie DeTore started a crowdfunding page Tuesday after Big Ange was hospitalized for labored breathing and severe pain. DeTore wrote, "On January 26, the doctor reviewed her CT scan and informed us that the treatment was not working, and in fact one tumor grew larger and the other tumors had no change. DeTore is seeking to raise $25,000 for cannabis oil her sister can use as a pain remedy." The family thanked the fans for contributing nearly $21,000 as of Wednesday, tweeting, "Thank you for your love and prayers. Keep positive. Thank you for supporting. Ange is still strong." Katie Price says she doesn't need to justify piercing 18-month-old daughter Bunny's ears. 37-year-old English television personality defended her choice on Tuesday's episode of ITV's talk show Loose Women after facing heavy backlash for the decision. Price said in a response to critics claiming Bunny didn't have a choice, "What about kids who get circumcised? They don't have a choice. My husband Kieran's half Spanish and it's their tradition. What can I say? She had it done and she looks beautiful with it." Price shared photos of Bunny with the piercing on Instagram over the weekend. The television personality complained Mariah Carey, Kim Kardashian, and Angelina Jolie also pierced their daughter's ears but did not face criticism. Price is mom to Bunny and 2-year-old son Jed with husband Kieran Haler, whom she married in 2013. She also shares 13-year-old son Harvey with Dwight York and 18-year-old son Junior and 8-year-old daughter Princess with first husband Peter Andre. The star said of Harvey, who has Prader-Willi syndrome, on This Morning in October, "He makes me laugh. I love him so much. He does on me. Of all my kids, everyone tells me Harvey is their favorite because he is so funny and his personality has to come out. He is hard work, but I wouldn't change him for anything." Price came to fame as a glamour model before appearing on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and a series of Channel 4 documentaries about her personal life. She competed on and won Celebrity Big Brother Season 15 in February. A freak accident has left an Italian actor in a coma. Raphael Schumacher, who was performing in the production of Mirages in Pisa's Teatro Lux, was in a coma Wednesday after a hanging scene went wrong. The 27-year-old actor was wearing a bag over his head last weekend while performing the scene when a medical graduate spectator noticed that he was trembling and suspected something was wrong. She immediately came to help and realized the rope was around his neck, was killing him. Schumacher was taken to the hospital and has been in a coma since. Police launched an investigation to check for safety violations but said they believe it to be an accident. Schumacher had changed the scene at last minute. The theater directors told Ir Guariano News that it was supposed to involve a gunshot instead of a hanging. Fox is bringing back So You Think You Could Dance for a 13th season, but instead of inviting adult contestants, the show will highlight those between 8 and 13 years old. Officially titled So You Think You Could Dance Next Generation, the updated dance competition will see young dancers of all styles, including hip-hop, ballroom, contemporary, and tap, paired with the show's adult all-stars. Judge now Lithgow, Paul Abdul, and Jason Derulo are set to return to the So You Think You Could Dance stage with Kat Deely as hosts. Fox Entertainment President David Madden said in a statement, according to Deadline, "We're so happy to bring back the award-winning So You Think You Could Dance for a 13th season this summer with the brand new format." He added the series has captivated its loyal fans for over a decade, inspiring young dancers across the country and transforming the face of dance in every medium. And we're so excited to feature a young and talented new group of performers on the series. This isn't the first time Fox has respun regular competition shows with youthful flair. It launched the spin-off MasterChef Junior featuring adolescent chefs in 2013. Auditions for the child-eccentric dance competition will begin in Los Angeles on February 27th, Chicago on March 11th, and New York on March 18th. Nikki Bella will eventually be able to compete again inside a WWE ring, according to her sister Brie Bella. Following her impressive victory over WWE Divas champion Charlotte on Raw, Brie updated fans on Nikki's condition, confirming that her recent neck surgery is not career-ending. Brie said during WWE's internet-exclusive Raw Fallout, Nikki is doing great, she's in good spirits, and the best thing that the doctors could tell us is that eventually, not anytime soon, Nikki can get back in the ring. Brie also mentioned how she hopes her victory over the reigning champ will lead to a rematch for the Divas Championship, a title Nikki held for a record-breaking 301 days before she lost it to Charlotte back in September at Night of Champions. Brie said, "I just hope that I can get to put into that title picture so I can take that title right off of her, take that little chip of arrogance off her shoulder, and show her what a real champion looks like, because Nikki showed us all." Rapper Wiz Khalifa confirmed that he and Kanye West are on good terms after the latter celebrity apologized for a scathing Twitter rant. Speaking with radio host Angie Martinez for Power 105.1 Tuesday, Khalifa said the two spoke after a misunderstanding led to West posting up to 30 tweets criticizing him. The Black and Yellow rapper said, "It's cool, we spoke, he apologized, and I accept his apology." Khalifa's radio interview comes soon after West announced on Twitter the two rappers met to discuss the issue. Kim Kardashian's husband wrote Tuesday, "Me and Wiz spoke yesterday. Great convo, all positive." It follows after an unlikely selfie shared by West's wife and Khalifa's ex Amber Rose after the two reportedly met to make their own peace. Rose and West were romantically linked before she married Khalifa and he married Kardashian. Source told Us Weekly of the content of the women's meeting. Making amends is something that Kim has wanted to do for a long time. Amber and Kim are both mothers, and it was the right thing to do. Artist and musician Yoko Ono will be the recipient of this year's Lifetime Inspiration Award from NME for ongoing inspiration of some of the world's greatest creative minds. Now it's Monday. Ono will collect the award February 17th at the annual ceremony in Brixton, London, on the eve of her 83rd birthday. The multimedia artist, singer, and widow of the late John Lennon said in a statement released by the outlet, "Thank you, NME, for this great honor. I accept this as your encouragement for me to keep making my sound of music." A longtime friend of the late David Bowie, Ono recently released a statement regarding his death, saying her son Sean lost another father figure. She said on the website, "After John died, David was always there for Sean and me. When Sean was at boarding school in Switzerland, David would pick him up and take him on trips to museums and let Sean hang out at his recording studio in Geneva." She said, "But we had some sweet memories which will stay with us forever." Yoko Ono is one of the world's most influential artists and peace activists. She married former Beatle band member John Lennon, and after his death continued to create an expanse of art and music both in his honor and as a form of advocacy and expression. Elton John has followed in fellow pop star Adele's footsteps and told Donald Trump to stop using his music for Trump's campaign, John's publicist said Tuesday. The billionaire businessman's 2016 presidential campaign has been playing John's Rocket Man and Tiny Dancer at recent campaign rallies. However, John's publicist released a statement asking them to stop. The publicist added Elton's music has not been requested for use in any official capacity by Donald Trump. Any use of his music should not be seen as an endorsement of Donald Trump by Elton. The Rock and Roll Hall of Famer denied permission from the Trump campaign to use his music just a day after Adele told Trump's campaign to stop using her music and said no political campaign will get the permission to use them regardless of the party. John's refusal might be in part due to Trump's recent statements he would try to overturn the Supreme Court's recent decision in support of same-sex marriage. John married his longtime partner David Furnish in 2014. Lin-Manuel Miranda and his fellow cast members from Hamilton will perform a number from the acclaimed Broadway musical during the February 15th Grammy telecast. The performance will be seen via satellite from the Richard Rodgers Theater in New York. The Grammys, which honors excellence in all genres of music, will be broadcast live from the Staples Center in Los Angeles on CBS. The gala is being hosted by LL Cool J. The Hamilton performance will mark just the 8th time in history that musical theater has been featured on the Grammy Awards telecast. Seal and Sam Hunt are to headline the Super Bowl 50 NFL tailgate party at Levi's Stadium on Sunday. Coverage of the two performances will be televised as part of the Super Bowl Sunday pregame show, the Super Bowl Today. The announcement was made Wednesday by the NFL and broadcaster CBS. The championship football game being played in the San Francisco Bay Area will feature the Denver Broncos versus the Carolina Panthers. Lady Gaga is to sing the national anthem for the event, and Coldplay is to perform during the game's halftime show. Now here are the top 10 songs on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of February 13th. Number 10, Alicia Cara with Here. Number 9, Rihanna featuring Drake with Work. Number 8, Selena Gomez with Same Old Love. Number 7, Selena Gomez with Hands to Myself. Number 6, The Chainsmokers featuring Roses with Roses. Number 5, Flo Rida with My House. Number 4, Adele with Hello. Number 3, 21 Pilots with Stress Out. Number 2, Justin Bieber with Sorry. And the number 1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts for the week of February 13th, Justin Bieber with Love Yourself. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1938, Disney releases Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. See for yourself what the genius of Walt Disney has created in his first full-length feature production, proclaimed the original trailer for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, released on this date in 1938. Based on the famous fairy tale by the Brothers Grimm, Snow White opened with the wicked queen asking her magic mirror of the question, who is the fairest of one of all? The mirror gives its faithful answer, Snow White, the queen's young stepdaughter. Ordered by the queen to kill the young princess, a sympathetic woodsman instead urges Snow White to hide in the forest. There she encounters a host of friendly animals who lead her to a cottage inhabited by the seven dwarfs: Sleepy, Dopey, Doc, Sneezy, Grumpy, Bashful, and Happy. Eventually, in the classic happy ending, viewers would come to expect as a Disney trademark, love conquers all as the dwarfs defeat the villainous queen and Snow White finds love with a handsome prince. Walt Disney's decision to make Snow White, which was the first animated feature to be produced in English and in Technicolor, flew in the face of the popular wisdom at the time. Naysayers, including his wife Lillian, warned him that audiences, especially adults, wouldn't sit through a feature-length cartoon fantasy about dwarves. But Disney put his future on the line, borrowing most of the $1.5 million that he used to make the film. Snow White premiered in Hollywood on December 21st, 1937, earning a standing ovation from the star-studded crowd. When it was released to the public the following February, the film quickly grossed $8 million, a staggering sum during the Great Depression and the most made by any film up to that time. The movie's innovative use of story, color, animation, sound, direction, and background, among other elements, later inspired directors like Federico Fellini and Orson Welles. In fact, Welles' Citizen Kane features an opening shot out of a castle at night with one lighted window that is strikingly similar to the first shot of the Wicked Queen's castle in Snow White. Disney won an honorary Academy Award for his pioneering achievement, while the music for the film featured Snow White's famous ballad, Someday My Prince Will Come, and other songs by Frank Churchill, Larry Morey, Paul J. Smith, and Leigh Harlan, who was also nominated for an Oscar. The studio re-released Snow White for the first time in 1944 during World War II. Thereafter, it was released repeatedly every decade or so, at a pattern that became a tradition for Disney's animated films. For its 50th anniversary in 1987, Snow White was restored but cropped into a widescreen format, a choice that irked some critics. Disney released a more completed digital restoration of the film in 1993. Its power continues to endure. In June 2008, more than 60 years after its U.S. release, the American Film Institute chose Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs as the #1 animated film of all time in its listing of America's 10 greatest films in 10 classic genres. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, February 4th, 2016. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.